All right, you know what time it is. It's catch time. You got to catch them all. Today, amazing koa guitars that have just landed from this year's Taylor Catch event. Stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you want to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for custom swag, or check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional, wherever you get your podcasts, or send us gift cards to Bill Miller's Barbecue.
There we go.
That's a good way to support our energy levels. So we've got amazing guitars. These will be easy to keep our energy up and talk about. From this year's Catch event.
Yeah, koa's back in a big way.
Dude.
All right.
These are amazing.
It's wild because, koa's, nobody cares about it anymore. So it's nice to have some stuff back. No, I feel like it's getting to the point now where we say like, oh, koa back in the 90s it was so great. And then we keep getting stuff with Oscar. It's like, it's koa time.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got two great guitars. And if you're not familiar with the Catch event, we've had a number of Catch guitars on this channel before. Basically, it's a special event that Taylor does kind of separate from the NAMM show. And you have an opportunity to go eat some great food, spend some time with the great Taylor folks, catch up with everybody that you haven't seen for probably a year or more because of a pandemic, and also bid on guitars. And you do that by basically putting your business card in and saying, I want this guitar. And on these, you either get the guitar that's on the table, or if you miss out on that, for a lot of them, they will build that guitar for you to that same spec, although there are some that are limited models that there are only so many of. We lucked out with these two because these were the ones on the table.
That one was not.
This one was not? Mm-mm. This was pretty close to the one that was on the table.
It was very, very close, but the thing, and I thought it was for sure, but yeah, I think they anticipated heavy-duty interest in that one, so they had one more that was ready to go.
And then that one was the one.
This one was the one on the table, which I'm so glad that it was, because this was absolutely the first one that Chris and I were both like, well, that's a no-brainer. We got that card in the thing.
It's nice to be half right. Yeah. So that's the way that this works. And we got others that will be forthcoming. We didn't get the one that was on the table, and they're being built or something to that effect.
Yeah, so it's nice because it's like 3 or 4 months, we might see some other stuff. In 6 to 7 months, we'll see some other things. And I, much like last year, really like everything that we got from this show.
Yeah, the Catch event always gives a great time. And we've talked to Aaron Dablow, JR's boss, I guess, or was. Anyways, Aaron's a great guy at Taylor, known Aaron for years. And he is at this point, last time when we were there in August, he was basically like dreaming up the stuff for the Catch event. Tough job, Aaron. And was picking our brain about some stuff, showing us some cool stuff that they were working on, some rosette designs and everything. But bottom line is, the things that you'll see at the Catch event are usually very unique. Things that usually aren't even done on custom guitars or even on the menu yet, like some of the inlay offerings that we're going to see here, and crazy wood like we're seeing. So let's jump into it. Shall we start with this one?
Yeah.
Speaking of inlay designs I've never seen before, this is an all-koa GA with the armrest bevel that sounds incredible and has some really cool features on it. So it is AA grade koa on the top and the sides and the back studs.
Yeah.
It is framed with beautiful binding done in cocobolo, including the actual bevel, the armrest bevel. And a really cool rosette and inlay called Art Deco. That's really, really cool.
That's still subtle, not over the top, but like even just looking real close at it, like the wood that they chose for the rosette and everything, it's awesome.
I think it's cocobolo and maple that's being utilized to do that. It's really awesome. It continues up on the headstock. We've got gold Taylor tuners with an edge burst treatment, just like the body has, for the koa that's on the headstock, with the Taylor logo done in mother of pearl, and then the tuning buttons are ebony with koa inlaid into them, with a nice, very, very thin band of what I think is maple.
Very rarely is it like, what kind of inlay do the tuning buttons have? But this one,
the tuning buttons are inlaid with koa.
Yeah.
And maple into some ebony, which is, just really, really stunning guitar. Oh, yeah, and was that the
bone with the opal?
Yeah, Australian opal and polished bone bridge pins. This is a stellar guitar. It's very cool. It's got the purfling from maple just to frame it all in. Really just breathtaking. Even the little cocobolo back there, it's all really stunning. The sound of this guitar is fantastic. So, and this is going to be somewhat the same for both guitars, but they're different because the body shapes and sizes. All-koa is going to be compressive and have a lot of sustained warmth with some nice brightness. And, as I demoed these guitars, Josh was sitting behind the camera and the microphone with headphones on going like, wow.
Yeah.
They're pretty phenomenal sounding guitars that match the looks. Let's talk about that one that caught our eye.
Yeah, this is an absolute koa lover's delight.
Koa everywhere.
Yeah, this is koa everywhere, and definitely a more is more when it comes to koa. Not in terms of necessarily like crazy flashiness, but anywhere there is flash, it is wood and most often koa. Incredible top, really nice sapwood in the middle that is also then on the back. Insane back.
Coloration is just crazy on this guitar.
And you'll notice that this is a bigger guitar than that one because this is the biggest guitar that they make, which is the Grand Orchestra.
Go on. Get it, go.
There we go. With a Florentine cutaway. When was the last time you saw that?
Recently, actually. An old one, but it wasn't Florentine.
I mean, are you talking about that other custom Geo? Also cool guitar. Not in this video, but that one was not all koa.
No.
That one didn't have a Florentine cutaway. The whole thing is bound in koa. Armrest is koa, which that piece right there is insane.
Yeah.
The rosette inlay is called the Nations rosette, and it's maple with little kind of koa adornments. Very pretty.
To match the maple purfling next to the koa binding.
Yeah. And then what's the leaf guy called?
Island vine?
That's the island vine?
I think it said island vine.
That's the island vine.
I think.
Something. I don't know. It's cool.
It's
whatever
very cool.
it is. And then of course you got
Or tropic vine, something like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
It's tropical because koa tropical. Koa truss rod cover, insanely flamed truss rod cover. What the heck?
Where else could we put koa? Let's do the truss rod
truss
cover.
rod cover, and then koa on the headstock overlay.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
Also on the back strap, which has Goto 510 antique gold on there. So
Listen, if
more
you
is
like
more.
koa,
Yeah.
hear me out.
yeah, koa and go. You got to go koa, all right? But that's like a Dream K24 turned up to 11 with Cocobolo. This is K28 CE.
Yep.
Awesome. But every piece of koa on here is a beautiful piece of koa.
When I first saw it, and my opinion hasn't changed, this reminds me of that Kenny Loggins signature model that we had, in the past that was very limited, done in the early 2000s, and it was all koa with a Florentine cutaway, a similar, although different, inlay pattern on it. And I love those guitars. I've always kind of wanted one. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think this one's actually better. Having played it, I think this is a better sounding guitar. The other interesting thing about this in comparison to these is that doesn't have an edge burst or any color treatment at all because the wood they picked for that has such cool coloration on it.
Yeah.
It's a knockout for sure.
Yeah. And they both sound great.
This one, so because of its body shape, the size of it, the depth of it, it's 5 inches deep on a Grand Orchestra, has a lot of the characteristics I mentioned on this. It's got that compression, it's got the sustain because of the compression. It's really warm mid-range, and there's this nice kind of treble bite. But there's a certain open airiness quality, and you were playing a little bit ago. The guitar's so big that all of these overtones just echo. And so you can kind of hit a note and then play other things, and it's still ringing.
It's like that thing when you go into a room of guitars that are all tuned and you play a note and then they all start ringing, but it's all taking place in this guitar. It's like you play one note and the whole thing just starts singing. It's insane, which is just kind of one of those marks of like This is a very, very well-built guitar. Not every single acoustic that we play is like that. But of course, coming from the Catch event, these are meticulously designed and put together and set up and everything. They're just perfect. So, of course, we got to get a little Chris McKee going on these bad boys. So take a listen.
So there you have it. Really great guitars. I really enjoyed playing both of them. One thing I will note about this that is unique to this guitar, it's a big guitar. The Grand Orchestra is a body shape that I might typically actually have a little bit of a difficult time with because neither of us is very tall.
Yeah.
But the addition of the beveled armrest on this actually makes it comfortable despite not just the width, but the depth of the guitar. So I could actually sit and play this comfortably and really enjoy it. So food for thought, if you are on the shorter side and you're thinking about this guitar, it will still work for you because of that. It's a similar thing I did with my GS. Is knowing, having that, it's like, okay, it's more comfortable.
I feel like, so we've been talking to some folks in the store about doing Taylor Customs, and I've seen more and more people going towards GSs and GOs because, one, they can add the beveled, like everybody that has done a custom GS or GO with us has added a beveled armrest, but also they're not, even without, they're not uncomfortable guitars.
Right.
I mean, like the edges, they just, I think they're the easiest to play of the kind of jumbo-sized guitars, and also don't be afraid of them. Everybody loves Grand Auditorium because it's the Goldilocks, but don't forget about the big fellas because this is.
Well, and something that's nice about these is it is a jumbo-sized guitar, but I mean, way back when they replaced the jumbo with this, the goal that Andy Powers had, because this was the first thing he designed there at Taylor, was the GO body. It was to have something that's a jumbo-sized guitar that would respond with a lighter touch, that you could be articulate on, that you didn't have to be like chopping wood on all the time. And he succeeded in that. I think these are very responsive big guitars. Yeah. So even if you're like doing fingerstyle stuff, these guitars are great for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're great. If, these are a preview of the Catch guitars. There's a lot of other cool stuff coming, but these are like definitely the koa pieces. Yeah. So if you're a koa head, one, let us know if you want to see the other stuff that we got before it comes in, because we can show you from the gallery. You'll get an idea of what it will look like. It won't be exactly the same.
Yeah, all the specifications would be that. The wood grain may vary.
Wood grain might be different, but if you see there's really cool maple stuff, some walnut stuff. Yeah. There's a good spread. All different body sizes.
If you like bear claw spruce, there's a really cool bear claw spruce.
If you've been into Bacote, there's a couple very cool Bacote pieces. But for koa, rest assured, these are these are the ones that we got, and I'm super happy with them. So let us know. We will send you kind of the list of everything we got with the gallery, so you can preview. And then when we get them in, if they're not already sold, we will be showing them to you.
There you have it. So make sure, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, you subscribe and turn on notifications so that when we do the videos on the new stuff that's coming in, you'll also be the first to hear about that. And do us a favor, like our videos. Even if you don't like our videos, like our videos. It helps people that are interested in this stuff.
At least just don't hit dislike.
Well, actually, you can, because YouTube took off the functionality and it doesn't do anything anymore.
But it's still, we see it on the back and it hurts my feelings. Yeah.
Nah, I'm over it now. So anyways, like our videos, subscribe, turn on notifications, keep coming back, and we'll keep showing you really cool stuff from about every brand we can possibly get our hands on. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.